My dogs are acting all weird this morning. And that's happened before recently, where one of them in particular, my polar bear dog, my white dog, will just stand there whining about nothing and kind of giving little barks. And I think I figured out that what they want is to go for a morning walk, because I often go for a walk in the morning. And if I don't do it, then they're like, "Where's our walk, dude?" And what I figured out was my dogs are lonely, as of course am I. And so they need people to go walking with them and do stuff. They need activity, as do I. And I was thinking about that, and I've been avoiding it. I mean, I'm taking actions. I'm making more videos about various roles here that could be filled, ways to visit, and I'm thinking about it with the experience I've had hosting a hell of a lot of people here, and I know a lot of things I don't want, but I've kind of been avoiding it. And now that winter's over and it's warming up, and I have ambitions when the rains come to do a lot of plant stuff. That would be just so cool. And I need to do bulldozer work to prepare for fire. I need help cleaning the place up, and really I can't just hide out in the woods forever. Well, actually I can, but it's not the best idea. It's not really what I want. I'm conflicted, because when I think of people, I think of trouble. And that's a kind of bad attitude, but it comes from experience. And I think my solution for that is to provide people with very specific roles and goals. Roles and goals. So that they know what to do that is productive and what the culture of the space is. Even things as basic as don't stay up all night partying. Get the hell up early in the morning. Live in the light, largely manage yourself. And I guess it's up to me to define the structures by which they can do that. The expectations of any particular role. If you're going to take care of chickens, how to keep them alive, or rabbits, or whatever. Look at Doggins. Hi, Doggins. You happy going for a walk? It's very exciting. And that's true for me as well. And I guess I've enjoyed years and years of total freedom. I have nothing scheduled. Also means I have nothing to look forward to. And it will change immediately as soon as I have people here. And so I have to figure out how to have people here, but still have some time for me. In fact, all systems should be designed to get me out of them. I should become irrelevant. That's an underlying goal, because whatever this place becomes, if it's going to survive, it has to survive my death. It has to have no role for me necessary. When I die, nothing should change. All systems should be fully functional. There was a community called, I think it's Twin Oaks. No, it's the farm in Tennessee. There's only a few successful communities. Most of them fail for the same obvious reasons they usually do, despite the idealism of the people who set them up, or the manipulative intentions that they have. It depends. But there was a guy, I think his name was Stephen Gascom or something like that. And it seemed like they did it right at the farm. Pretty sure it was a farm. And when he died, I read about this. When he died, he was kind of the leader of the community, right? Which is fine. But he got systems set up so that when he died, things just continued on. They had a party, a celebration of him, and then things moved on. And they continued. as opposed to many other types of communities in which the primary individual, for whatever reason, is no longer available, such as dying or pissing everybody off enough. I read about these communities in detail, and what's nice is that people can write now online about their personal experience in these communities, and you can kind of evaluate like where things went wrong. And in those two cases I'm thinking of, I don't feel like saying their names right now. In those two cases, the main person was out and it fell apart. And that's not unusual. It's the signs of a personality cult. It's an over-reliance on one person, and it's a flaw in the structure of it if you wish it to continue. Like in one case I read about, actually in both those cases I'm thinking of, the people who were in the community had positive things to say, for the most part, about their experience in the community. And I've seen documentaries interviewing former members, and they all have different jobs now, and the community itself doesn't exist, but at least they have positive views of the experience they had. Still, it seems like a shame to me, and a lack of foresight, if you think that community has value, to not plan as if the main person is going to die. And in this case here, I'm going to be the main person. That's it. Like, there's a lot of people who want to come and join a community and get an equal vote. And it's like, no. In fact, I remember before I even moved here, I was at a party. It was not my party. I was at a party at a house of people I mostly didn't know. And I mentioned to somebody, a couple of people, that I had this property I bought. And that I was going to set up a cool place there. And there was actually two reactions that bugged me. One of them was this woman who I didn't know. And she was like, yeah, I want to go live there. And stuff. And we were talking about the vision for it. And she was, somehow decision making came up. It's a common thing in discussing community issues. And she wanted to make sure she had an equal vote in any decisions that got made. It's like, fuck, I just met this woman at a fucking party, and she was cute. But that's not enough to distract or confuse me. In fact, it's a major red flag, because some cute women have been given too much all their lives and become abusive, really. Anyway, so she wanted an equal vote. Let's see, I bought it with the work I did for, a long time to get the resources together, and then took the risk of buying it, and you want an equal vote. Somebody I don't know and is offered zero. And the answer to that is fuck no. The other guy I recall from that same party, he said, oh, that sounds great. I've been an activist for like 20 years, and I could really use a vacation. I didn't offer him a fucking vacation. And I knew how hard it would be to be here, and that I wasn't going to be able to go on vacation here. Living out in the forest is hard. In fact, the first 3 years were especially really, really, really hard. And so just the presumptuousness of that pissed me off. So for now, this is going to be a benevolent dictatorship, and it may not be benevolent by your standards, in which case you're welcome to leave if you don't think I'm benevolent enough. But the underlying goal is all roles in a society ultimately have to be gotten away from me, and that changes the power structure, and because ultimately I'm going to go away anyway, right? I could have a stroke or heart attack at any moment. So we have to develop people in roles where they know what they're doing, where they're trusted by other people, they work with other people in different roles, and we develop and document the culture of everything we do. So decision making gets institutionalized into the culture of what works. And I'm going to influence the fuck out of that. Obviously, I have experience. I know where the mines are at that we shouldn't step on. I know where the opportunities lie. And of course, other people will come in with their own skill set and they will bring value, and I have great respect for that. I want to attract people who can lead, not just followers, I want to attract people who can lead and build and bring in skill sets and knowledge that I don't have. Even though I'm kind of interesting and know a lot of stuff, it's not like I have the only skill set that's useful in the world. And I have to pick those people very carefully, but the goal is to have powerful people in a variety of roles, some of which overlap with each other, and some of which mimic each other. Like that's why I've been talking about dividing the land up, and maybe even legally, probably even legally, so that different organizations that people actually own parts of the land, and that they actually operate under different principles. And the benefit of that is we're also doing several experiments. So we have a base level of things we know work, but then on top of that we have individual identities of a community and different rule sets that they live by, different goals. And part of that's even determined by the landscape and what the options are for that piece of land. What is its highest use? And that'd be really fascinating. And we could develop them, and some of them might fail, and they can reconfigure, or we might have some that have a higher turnover. Sorry, my voice is all fucked up. I'm not sure why. Hope I'm not going to get sick. I haven't been sick forever. And I really would like to not get sick. Because if I actually got badly sick, there's no help for me. So, and I can handle a lot. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, so that's the experiment I see. But for now, decision making is really, the goal is to write it all down, to get it documented, and also keep people so busy that rather than fucking around with shit, what is it they say, idle hands are the devil's plaything? Well, I don't believe in the devil, but I understand the sentiment that if people don't have things that they're supposed to be doing, if they don't have a role, their role will become fuck shit up. Have their delusional thing, use other people's resources, their very important idea. I had a visitor here recently who really thought it was important to build a tree house. And he thought we were equal. And I walked around with him and looked at trees for tree houses, and there's many. But he had an idea for a tree house. I didn't even like the design of it. It'd be a fake tree house that's attached to the ground around a tree, so it's not even up in a tree. And him and his partner really thought that when I said that they could visit here, that they would somehow be equal partners in making decisions and priorities. And it's like, fuck no. And he was completely ignoring all these cabins I have that are pretty dang good as housing options in favor of these treehouse idea. And I have another friend who likes treehouse idea a lot. That's great. But he's not demanding about it. And I would love a treehouse. Or multiple tree houses. We could have a Swiss Family Robinson treehouse complex. In fact, I've got a spot picked out for it, and it has oak trees that are perfect. Pines generally suck for that. They move too much in the wind, and they tend to fall over. So, it's not like I'm closed-minded, but I don't want people here who pressure me into their trip. I'm not going to be manipulated by a pretty face. I'm not going to be manipulated by a pushy person. I'm not going to be, it's not going to fucking happen. I think if somebody's bringing more money into the system, to be honest, I'll probably pay more attention to them because they're doing something right. And maybe we'll want to do more of that. So, financial sustainability matters a lot, not just ecological sustainability. Anyway, that's some thoughts for you as I take the dogs for a walk.